Hello everyone. In today's video I want to talk about some important things, some things that have been weighing on my mind. Excuse me, my throat. It's been weighing on my mind for some time now, and of course it's up to you what it is you want to believe. Take what resonate and leave the rest. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about some things that may trigger people, may change their perspectives on certain groups of people that are here, groups of people that go by many names, envoys, starseed, emissaries, and whatever else names that they go by. So I actually did a video about what I'm going to talk about with you today on my old channel. Many of you know that was taken down through manipulation. But I just feel it's important to talk about it now, especially because of the times we are heading into, and things are very quickly speeding up on the planet and escalating, and there's a lot of confusion and division. And I just want to say as well, I'm not here to cause confusion or division. Whatever I'm going to share with you, all you've got to do is just look at your life, look at your past, look at the way these people who go by these names and titles are acting. So the proof is there. It's not anything I've just pulled up, fabricated, and sharing with you guys. I am just merely talking about what I see, what I have been seeing. Now, many of us are, including myself, are very, very observative. We observe, we analyze things, we dissect things. We really look deep into everything and everyone. And I've always done that ever since I was a young child. I came into information that let's just say children at certain ages shouldn't have come into, because I guess my higher self was showing me and trying to tell me things, and because of that I came into some information, some documents about my family, about myself, and things of that nature. Sorry for the background noise. So yes, I've always been that way. I question things, I question people, information. I question those that wear masks and facades, and those that are not very nice, on the front, and some that seem to be very, nice and friendly and bubbly and charming, and usually they're the ones you want to watch, because there are wolves in many sheep's clothing, as many of you know. So again, what I'm going to share is based off on my intuition, my beliefs, my own discernment, my own experience, what I've learned, what I've discovered. So this is where all my information comes from. I don't channel. I will not channel beings, because I know we can be easily deceived. Doesn't matter who you are, what you are, whether you are starseeds or not, we can all be at risk. And I'm seeing a lot of that, and I will touch a little bit about that as well at some point. So yeah, this is where my information comes from. I haven't read it in a book, I haven't watched it on a video. It comes from me. And like I say, I kind of, I notice things, and I'm not the type of person that's just going to jump on a video and just share all this stuff straight off the back. I will sit with my feelings. I will sit with information for years, and I will study that, and I will analyze that, and I will dissect that information. I'll pull it apart, and I'll put pieces together that make sense, and tear apart what doesn't make sense. I'm very good at analyzing information. Of course, I just want to mention as well that whatever I do share with you, I don't want to be that person, be like, oh, this is 100% correct, because I'm not, I'm not a Mrs. Know-it-all, and I don't pretend to be. This is just purely what I believe. And I'm sure a lot of you will agree with what I'm going to say, and I'm sure a lot of this information will trigger the hell out of people. And that's another thing, that's a misconception. One of the biggest ones is, you hear about starseeds and light workers, and we've been told that we're perfect and we're angelic, and we're all soft spoken, we're all very sweet, and we're all, with this and with that. And actually, in reality, no, that's not how we are. However, there are some that are like that. But, and this kind of brings me into the whole love and light psyop side of things. So I'll just go into that a little bit. So, but quickly, I just want to say that if star seeds are real, I don't particularly like to use the term star seed. It just doesn't feel right. The same applies with the chosen one. Don't even get me started on that word, that term. Something just doesn't feel right. It's never felt right for me personally. I always like to remind people that, we all come from the stars, we're all consciousness, we're all souls, okay? The only thing that kind of, I wouldn't say separate us, because that separate isn't a nice word neither, but, what distinguishes us down here is that, some souls have come from other places. Remember, we are consciousness. We have many experiences, being human, being Andromedan, being Syrian, being Lyran. We come from all over, and there are some souls that have only had certain experiences on certain planets. For instance, Earth at this time. So there are souls and consciousness here having a human experience. I've only ever had a human experience. And there are souls here that are new souls. They're at the very beginning, early stages of their consciousness, understanding of things and, awareness and things like that. We've all had to start from somewhere, but we all, we come from the stars, okay? And it isn't about being bigger or better. It breaks down to, all it comes down to is just experience, okay? It's like souls down here are more experienced in certain areas, I don't know, physics or psychology, and some souls have no idea. And they're just living a 3D basic human life, So it's not about, being inferior or superior. I don't look at anyone else and see anyone else below me or above me. And I see a lot of humans, looking up to other beings or other humans that seem to be more knowledgeable in certain areas. And what do? It's the God complex, worshipping gene. Let's put them on a pedestal, and when you do that, you give your power away. You're giving them power to dominate you. You're feeding their ego, and that is not what true envoys are about, okay? Oftentimes we don't like being called starseeds, and like it makes me feel uncomfortable. And yes, I know I've mentioned it a few times on my videos, but sometimes it serves a purpose when I use these terms, and sometimes it just doesn't feel right. Especially on my old channel at the very early beginning stages of my starseed awakening, I was just speaking about this to a friend. It served me at that time because I needed to know and remember on a soul level who I am and why I'm here. So it's kind of, we have to go through that initiation process. But as time goes by, that term doesn't serve us. But again, at the time, it served us, it helped us to wake up, and it also helped us to connect with other star seeds, envoys, and for them to find their own people, souls, family, because many of us down here are related. Many of us are, family. And in truth, we are all cousins and brothers and sisters. We all come from the same source, the same God. But, it helps one another helps us to connect with our family for whatever, there's many reasons why we connect down here. And we all have our own soul groups. And but anyway, enough on that. And as I move forward in videos, I will be using the term starseed less and less and less, because I don't think it is very helpful, because we are very misunderstood. And unfortunately, when we use these terms, it rubs people up the wrong way, especially human consciousness. They feel small, or they feel like, they're less than, and that is not, for me anyway, and for other groups of us, it's not why we're here, okay? The reason why we're here is to assist you, not save you, not help you, not rub information in your face, and this is this, and this is that, and my truth is the only truth, and only I'm allowed to do this and that. If you hear that from anyone, regardless if they are a starseed or not, it's a red flag, which we'll get into. But yeah, we're all heading in the same direction. There's many young consciousness, human consciousness, souls here at this time going through their let's say evolution. Evolution never stopped. They're going through their next stage and level of their consciousness awareness. And we are just bridges down here because we've been there, we've done that on other planets, and we're kind of experienced in that. We know what to expect, although we still have a hard time down here. We're just here to assist these human consciousness souls that are going to, as they start, as their own spiritual awakening starts unfolding, they're going to have questions. They're going to be confused. What's happening? I'm scared. I don't know what to believe. They're going to be going through a lot of transitional phases. And just like I needed help when I was going through mine, when I was going through these hard and confusion times, at times, I happened to bump into other starseed souls that help assisted me, and I'm here to help assist other starseeds, and starseeds envoys are here to help assist humans. But we're all getting to, humanity's kind of catching up. So, and we're trying to bring you up to speed. We're trying to help you and get you to where you need to be. And but yeah, that's kind of where I'm going to leave it with the whole envoy starseed thing, because like I say, I'm at the point now in my own awakening where it doesn't serve me. And that's fine, each to our own. So I want to share some really important things now. So just because someone says they're an envoy or a starseed does not mean that they are positive or that they have humanity's best interest at heart. Now, a lot of people are under the assumption that all starseeds are positive. There are starseeds right now that are influencing, and I mean negative starseeds, and I just want to quickly say, either because they've been hijacked, or because they've been compromised, or because they were originally negative, meaning negative races, down here fighting against the true information that positive starseeds are giving, or they are here to confuse the masses and lead them down this false ascension. Now, ascension is real, spiritual awakening is real. We have got positive beings here, we have got negative beings here. All this is real. But there are groups of starseeds down here with large YouTube channels, okay? Again, wolves in many sheep's clothing, and oftentimes, they can seem a little bit too friendly. It's like they're really trying. Again, it's facades. But I know this can get confusing, guys, because there are a lot of starseeds down here that are very friendly, very bubbly, very high vibrational. Anyway, and there are also positive starseeds that don't appear like that neither on the surface. They could be really going through it, struggling to be in this body. There is that as well. So I know this is going to cause some confusion. So all I'm going to say is, regardless of who you listen to, just listen to your gut. What is your gut saying about information, a group, a person, and listen to that, okay? Regardless of how they are presenting themselves on the surface, okay? We have to start listening to our discernment and start listening to what our body is trying to tell us. What is our gut trying to tell us? Because our eyes can deceive us, looks can deceive us, okay? And this is very important. So, yes. So, now I've got that out of the way. So, yeah, not all star seeds are positive, as I mentioned again. There's a lot of infiltration, a lot of them have been compromised, a lot of them are being used and puppeted on strings by many groups and, and negative factions down here. But there are starseeds that have deliberately come down. They are part of their own starseed program that was designed and created by their negative overlords, their negative soul groups, and they're doing the same as what the positive ones are doing. The positive ones, we're down here and we're part of the envoy program, but we were sent down here to bring love, remembrance, compassion, information, truth. We're here to teach you to sit with your shadow side, not run from it. going through ascension, true ascension, the organic ascension, it isn't all love and light and butterflies. There's going to be a lot of ego death. There's going to be a lot of looking in the mirror, a lot of introspection and self-reflection. There's a lot of healing and tears, and we have to get immersed with those uncomfortable feelings. Now, with the love and light community, the psyop, they teach you different. They teach you to not focus on these negative things and, basically avoid your trauma, run away from it, distract yourself from it. Don't sit and dwell in these negative energies, because then it will bring your frequency and vibration down. So, all that is false, guys. It is false. Many of you know this. We feel this. What happens when we are brave enough to sit with our shadows, and when we sit in those energies that make us feel uncomfortable? What happens? And for me, when I sit in those uncomfortable energies and I face my inner demons and I face my trauma, what I feel and what happens is we start transmuting these energies. Feeling is healing, guys, and it is a true statement. I don't run from my shadows, and this is why, for someone like myself who is in these programs, who has gone through a lot, I'm able to come out the other side, and I don't always necessarily look like what it is I've gone through or are going through, and that is because, I understand that I have to sit in those energies. I have to sit in that trauma, and oh boy, I have. If many of you remember my old channel, there are many videos where, I took you through that. I showed you the raw, true side, not just the fluffy stuff. You saw videos of me crying and me explaining what it was I was going through, like it was real. But then I came out the other side, I was like that butterfly while I was in that cocoon phase, and then I came out the other side, and I was that butterfly, and then we go back into that cocoon phase. Each time we have to deal with trauma or something we don't necessarily want to feel, I just put myself there, because I know that, running from it, escaping it, suppressing it, oppressing it is not doing me any favors, and I learned that the hard way. So in the end, I kind of gave up, and I just, I sat with it, and I go through the pain, I go through the emotions, because I know, when I do that, then I can heal a lot quicker. And so I'm able to now transmute my pain and trauma a lot quicker, and I am equipped for next time I go through something traumatic, because I probably will. And, I have the tools, I have the courage to sit with that and again, just overcome it, feel it, to heal it, and just come out the other side. So yes, the love and light community, it is one big psyop. It's leading people down, it's trapping them, and it's leading them down a false path. It's leading them down, into lies. And if you look, a lot of these people in the love and light community, whether they're starseeds, light workers, whatever they want to call themselves, a lot of them are actually very, very negative. Very, very negative, and very, very judgmental, very, very hateful and vengeful. They appear on the surface as, I am 100% healed, and really behind that facade, in their real life, their life is going to shit. Whilst they continue spreading lies, and I am this, and I am that, and I am ascended master this and that, and I know it all, and I connect to so and so and so. And some of them are the most horriblest people out there. And oftentimes people put them on a pedestal, they glorify them, they worship them. I love you. And, I see all this, and people are giving their power away. And all I see with these people that are influencing these newly awakening people, all I see is their ego. Oh, and VIP this and VIP that. And, or if you question or go against their beliefs, immediately they will just cast you aside, humiliate you, smear campaign you. They'll just do whatever it is in their power to hurt you. Now that is not what true starseeds, envoys, light workers are about. That's not what we do. You know, with myself, with my information, I always say take what resonates and leave the rest. I do not push my beliefs on anyone. I do not go around and say, this is fact, this is that. I am very, very open to other people, even people that have different beliefs or go against my beliefs. I'm very respectful and I appreciate, their perspectives and their beliefs. I don't appreciate when they come for me and attack me and, and are very hateful. And that, I will not accept that, and if that happens, I will just simply block them. I won't tolerate disrespect, but I'm very, very open. I'm very, very fair to anyone that goes against anything that I say. I'm very mature in that sense. So yes, going back to those, in the love and light and alien disclosure and my lab, groups, all of them. Many of you know Elena Danan is a perfect example, and I do mention her quite a lot because she is a perfect example. She ridicules her and her little sidekick, her handler, Danny Henderson. It's clear as day, and it's been clear to me for many, many years. And perfect example. I am this, I am that, I am the high priestess, and I am this. And the way she carries herself, it's all fake, it's all facade, it's all ego. And there probably is some truths in the information she shares, but this is the thing as well, isn't it? With people like that, they mix truth with lies, they fabricate things, they steal information from other people's information and books and portray it as their own. It's all ego, it's all money, it's all popularity. It's all of that. It's all service to self instead of service to others. I don't care to be liked. I don't care to be popular. I don't care to be in these, popular groups. As many of you know, I didn't care as a kid, and I certainly don't care now. And a lot of things I say and the way I present myself or the way I deliver information, a lot of people don't like that. But you know what? I have a lot of integrity. I am real. I am raw. I am authentic. And I'm not saying that because of ego. I'm saying that because that is truth. That is how I am. Hence my channel, My Lab Gone Rogue. I have gone rogue because I am not falling for these groups. I am not a sheep. I am not following these false idols, these people that continue spewing false crap and information. I am unfiltered. I say it how it is. And if that causes people to hate me, then they hate me. Again, I generally do not care. Generally, those that speak truth and are authentic oftentimes get hated, get ridiculed, or get accused of being the dark one, and yeah, whilst all these fakes and just while all these fakes and phonies and liars, continue building their channels, continue building their audience, continue having people worshipping them like they are some kind of gods, and but on a positive, people are waking up. They are seeing people, for instance, like Elena Denan, they are knowing and feeling that something's just not right here. So yes, and she says she's a star seed. She's an envoy. She's part of the envoy program. Oh, she is. Yes, she certainly is. I believe in Elena Danan's case, she was a positive envoy, and somewhere down the line, she got hijacked and she got compromised, and now she believes she's connecting to positive beings, but really she's connecting to implants and artificial intelligence and beings portraying themselves of light, pretending to be of light. And I do believe that she does share some truths, and I believe that she believes in what she's saying is coming from truth and positive beings as well. So, yeah, she's an example of someone that has been infiltrated. Hence why I always say I will never ever connect or channel entities, because we are heavily influenced by AI, by satellites. Regardless whether you are a MyLab or not, we are in the matrix and we have implants, physical, ephemeral, interdimensional, transdimensional. I could go on and on and on. And there are people that are programmed up to their eyeballs, whether you know it or not. I still have programming within me. And how do I know that? Because a lot of things I used to believe, I don't believe in now, because I've evolved. My consciousness has grown a lot since the old days. And I'm sure in 2 years' time, a lot of my beliefs now may change, because, again, when we go through our consciousness, spiritual awakening, anything that is, and that's including programs, implants, anything that is feeding us information that we believe may resonate with us at the time, as we ascend, anything that is not in truth, anything that is lies, anything that is deception will fall away. And this is what's happening. And this is why our thoughts and feelings and beliefs about things and about ourselves and information doesn't feel true. You know, um, like I say, in the future, or as we ascend. Again, there's a lot of things I used to share on my old channel, and I look back and I'm like, oh wow, I've come a long way. And and I'm still dismantling programs within me. I'm not outside of these programs. I'm not outside of the matrix. I'm fully in it, like everyone else. And I am fully aware that we can all be controlled, puppeted on strings, and used to give out false information. Again, this is why I say, when I share my experiences, take what resonates and leave the rest, because I am fully aware that a lot of my experiences, although they are real experiences, that they could be nothing more than false implanted memories. They could be, screen memories. They could be, some of these experiences could be nothing more than just virtual reality memories. As many of you know, my labs, we are put through simulations, we are put through virtual realities that feel real at the time. It's only until later on when we are able to see through that, through memories, but at the time it's very real. And the purpose of these simulations, these virtual realities, is to test our discernment and to prep us as a super soldier, or just to see, okay, is Zoe passing these tests? Yep, she's really passed this and that test. Therefore, based on that, based on the calculations, on the test results, Zoe will be an ideal candidate in, let's just say, this program. So again, I am fully aware of I can't say all, but I'm fully aware on the majority of the tricks and the tests and the manipulation, because I am in many programs and they have tried to pull the wool over my eyes in many ways, countless of times. For example, in a lot of these experiences, they want me to believe I am speaking to a friend or a relative, and really it's nothing more than AI or a hologram or a reptilian messing with my mind, projecting into my mind to see how that entity, that being, wants me to perceive them, and things like that. And I know 9 times out of 10, when I am in a test, or now at least, or when I'm being lied to, truth has its own frequency, has its own truth resonance, the same with lies. So I'm able to, a majority of the time, with people, also in my personal life, if there is something they're saying, regardless of how they are presenting themselves, regardless on how genuine or sincere they are portraying themselves, I listen to the words, I listen to the vibration, the frequency, the energy, I listen to what's behind those words. Okay. And there are some good people out there are some good manipulators, but if my inner dialogue, if my inner self or my gut feeling is going off and screaming about information about a certain person, then I will listen to that. So yeah, we've got to be careful, guys. And the thing is, there's a lot of negative groups down here trying to manipulate starseeds. They're trying to. They have tried it with me. Yes, they are manipulating me. Of course, I am in the My Labs. But you know, many of you know, on a higher level, on a contract level, I knew the risks, and it was kind of like the inside job. Hence why I'm here. Hence why I have my channel to share what information I've gathered through intel, through missions, through what they've put me through. Again, so that's my role here. I'm not the only one. You know, to share this to help plant seeds, to help you guys understand that this reality is not what we thought it was. This matrix, this illusion we are in is real, guys. It is so real. And as the veil thins, as we ascend, we are going to see entities controlling people. We are going to see, quite literally, people walking down the street, and we are going to see the demonic beings, these entities. As our third eye opens, we're going to see, speaking to family members, and we're going to see something that's attached to them that may be controlling them or preventing them from going through their spiritual awakening. We're going to see people for who and what they are, and see what is controlling them. I remember having this conversation years ago with my sister. I said, we're going to see them one day. We're going to see them. A lot of them are leaving these energies because they are no match for these higher vibrational frequencies, but also a lot of them are hanging on for dear life. They are manipulating people, taking people down the wrong path, getting people to live in very low vibrational lives, drugs, alcohol, so then they can jump on these people and use these people to continue surviving and being down here, to continue with their agenda, to continue feeding off people and and doing harm to people, and continue pulling the wool over people's eyes. So they're not going to give up without a fight. Okay. They are going to be here for as long as they can be here. And this is why, again, as I've mentioned many times, they're pumping fear into the collective consciousness, because fear is a source of, well, it's food for them, isn't it? It's their energies. That's the energy they need to be in order to continue being down here. So yeah, so much is going on. Of course, many of you know this anyway. And I'm sorry for my voice or my energy. It's just I'm very passionate, and when you see what's going on, it does anger me. It really does, because I just want people to wake up and know this. And I know many of you listening to this now are. But there are many people that are going to find my channel and other channels like my own, and they're going to come into this information, and they're not going to believe in any of this, and it may help them. So, I am very passionate. It really does anger me what has been done to humanity and what is continuing being done to you guys. It really does. Yeah, it really does upset me. And so that is why I deliver my messages in that way. Okay. So yeah, there you go. So yeah. So whatever it isn't in truth and authenticity, and it's not about being perfect. That's another a lie in itself. If you're positive, you've got to be perfect. There are there are angels out there. There are high vibrational frequency beings out there that are fighting spiritual wars, okay, to bring balance. They're not perfect. They're not little Miss Goody Two Shoes. They're not all fluffy. They are warriors. They have swords. They fight, to bring balance. Okay, so that in itself is just a lie. What we hear, it's almost like the Stepford wives, isn't it? I see in these love and light communities, everyone's got to be smiley and perfect. Oh, don't say that. Oh no, you mustn't say that. And oh, you mustn't feel that. Because if you feel and think that, then then you're gonna manifest this. And there's a lot of shaming and blaming and this and that. Again, it's all a psyop, guys. It's all a psyop. Being high vibrational isn't about being perfect. High vibrational is about being authentic and truth. It really is, guys. And but many of you, are seeing this and learning this for yourself. So yeah, like I say, anything that's not in truth and authenticity, information, people, groups, we're going to see a lot of them, especially people and groups. We're going to see a lot of them fall and land on their asses. We're going to see them fall off their pedestal. We really are. And we're going to see sides to them that we didn't see before. I know in my experience, I have had been friends with starseeds, and at first I thought, oh well, they must be positive, they must be genuine, they must have my best interests at heart. Oh wow, did I learn the hard way? Absolutely not. They were devils in sheep's clothing, quite literally. And I saw sides that they didn't show to other people. And they've tainted me. They've lied about me to other people and made me out to be the bad guy. And yeah, there's a lot of things I know about people, and I keep receipts not because I'm petty, but because I'm smart. Because I know that as we go into the future, certain things about people are going to come out. And yeah, but anyway, I keep receipts for other things as well. But yeah, they showed to me their true colors, and now they have platforms, and they are, you know, just basically, yeah, just copycats of other people, really. And I see it. Now, I'm not saying that they're all evil and they're all bad. I do believe that perhaps they were good, but, certain entities, implants, attachments, possibly AI, false light beings, or beings that perhaps aren't fully bad, but have done bad, are deceiving these people and messing with these people and have affected their frequency. And so, they're no longer to me a trusted uh they're no longer to be trusted. And again, from my own experience, and I won't reveal their name because I'm not that person. With Elena Denan, I know I shared my experience, but I took that down just because I wasn't comfortable in sharing that, and I knew it was risky, and it was, and so that was my reason for not sharing that. But generally, I'm not. I won't reveal names. It's not because I'm gatekeeping. It's just because I don't. I'm better than that. I'm above that. And the thing is as well, it's very easy for people to accuse you of causing problems, stirring the pot, causing division. And that is not what I want to do. That is not what I'm about, because I know eventually whoever follows these certain people, they will figure out, eventually that these people that they are allies with, support, believe, worship, riding off the back of, that eventually they'll have their own experiences with these kind of people, or they'll just see them for who and what they are. And I'm sorry, but if anyone who contacts me who are not authentic and who do not have my best interests at heart, immediately I will, well, I just won't entertain their energy, quite frankly, and I will push them aside, or I will just block them and ignore them, and but anyway, we are going to be seeing a lot more of these people with YouTube channels. We're going to start seeing their masks slip. We're going to start seeing them for who they are and what they are. So yes, going back to the star seeds, not all star seeds are positive. There are negative beings down here that say they are star seeds, and they are working for the dark. They are working for the nefarious negative groups, and they are here to spread lies. They are here to mix truth with lies, give it misinformation, disinformation, and the thing is as well, there is also a witch hunt anyway. Well, it's already at the beginning stages. As I mentioned, I did a video on this on my old channel, but it's important that I speak about it now because there's going to be information to come out regarding extraterrestrials, and humans or people are going to immediately turn their eyes to starseeds and believe that we are kind of like down here to cause deception and lead humans down the wrong path, and we're here collecting souls for harvesting. We're going to hear it all, and we are being controlled and puppeted to, yeah, basically deceive humanities and lead them into the pits, lead them down, a wrong or negative path. Yes, there are star seeds or beings that call themselves star seeds that are either unknowingly or purposely leading humans down the false path, false ascension with lies. And that's a whole agenda within itself, and that is basically just in short, leading those souls and connect them to the false AI matrix ascension, not the organic ascension. So there's both going on at the same time, and I will do a video and go into further detail on that. And of course, with everything that I say in this video, in any of my other videos, use your own discernment, take what resonates and leave the rest. But the elites, the negative, nefarious groups here, they want a timeline where many of they want to connect the human consciousness to AI or create half human, half AI beings, slaves. And then so the rest of the nefarious groups can kind of just continue controlling and enslaving these souls and consciousness, and may even just be walking around themselves in their true forms as well, in their true Draco, reptilian, AI, grey form as well. That is a timeline they want. And so, yeah. So we have got the natural organic ascension, and we have got the AI artificial false matrix ascension. And this is what the love and light psyop community, again, they're not all bad. A lot of them are being used, but then a lot of them are very nefarious and are well aware of what they are doing. And they are purposely misleading, deceiving, and leading these groups of souls down that path, down that timeline, okay? That is a timeline we do not want. There is an ascension happening. There are positive beings. There are light codes. There is the real organic ascension going on right now. And as I speak this, I've got confirmation chills. Okay, guys? The real authentic starseeds, envoys, the positive ones, we are not here to mislead you or deceive you. We're not here to control you or save you. We are here to ensure that you go down the correct trajectory. And there are groups here that are purposely diverting souls down here, down into these false groups, these psyops, these love and light communities, and this and that. And so when you do get tricked into these little psyops, again, they use truth as a way to lure you in. And then by the time you've already got your trust in these certain groups or informational people, then that's when the lies start coming in. And by that point, a lot of you are already, invested in this person, or you've already put them on the pedestal, or you already believe and you believe in every word that this person spews out, because they're credible, because they have books, because they have PhD in this, because they've been on this channel and that channel, and they've got conferences. These people are generally untouchable. Those that are real, those that have their channels small and shadow banned, those that are attacked daily, they are the ones you want to be listening to. Okay, we are the ones that get messed with. The ones that are protected, they may share a little negative story every now and again. Oh, I got attacked by a Draco. Oh, and probably that's false. Again, this is how important, guys, it is. This is how important my information is, because I'm getting attacked. Half the time they're not getting attacked. Like I say, it's all psyops. And, a lot, especially Elena Denan, with the alien disclosure movement and stuff like that. Again, it's distractions. It's lies mixed with truths. It's truths that have been messed with. It's to slow your ascension down. It's to distract you. It's to drip feed this, alien disclosure stuff. It's all a load of baloney. And of course, it's up to you what you want to believe about these people. They're not all bad. JP, unfortunately, I see he's changed. His alter ego has is in control of him. Although he seems very nice, and he is. The real JP is nice. The real Elena Denon, she's still in there. She's still in there. But there's something else that's in her, something else that's controlling her, taking over. And but yeah, like I say, these people started off very genuine, very lovely, very sweet, and you know, they were very naive, unfortunately, and easily had the wool pulled over their eyes because humans are very easy to deceive and manipulate. And it's a shame. It really is such a shame. And we're going to see more and more people like that. People are going to start realizing that these people that they worship and praise and put on a pedestal have been infiltrated and are not the same people. And many people are realizing that. And it is sad, but it's good that people are waking up to this. So yeah, how to recognize star seeds that are not really positive. Well, again, it's hard because we're not all perfect. We have emotions, we have an ego, we have, going through human things and stuff like that. Some of us suffer with our mental health, especially star seeds, because the density on this planet, the frequency on this planet it's really, really, really hard. I mean, for all of us, but we do have a hard time down here. But you want to be careful of the ones that mock humans, take the mickey out of humans, belittles them, sorry, speaks badly about them, says horrible things like, oh, it's humanity's fault. I've got no compassion for them. I don't feel bad for them. They've made the bed, they can lay in it. I don't care if anything happens to them, it's their own fault, they're morons, they're this, they're that, or even as far as some of them even going and saying, just get me off here, I don't care what happens to humanity. That is not the true energy of a positive being, envoy, starseed, whatever you want to call yourself, okay? True, genuine starseeds that are here that want to help with people are very love heart based, and they do have a lot of empathy, even for those that have done bad, because they understand the bigger picture. They understand that even the wrong ones down here, even those that do bad, have been controlled and manipulated and are being used. They see the bigger picture. Doesn't mean to say we excuse them for their bad behaviours neither. We all have to take responsibility. We all have to be responsible for our own energy. But, we won't, trample all over humans and say, you know what, I'm done, I give up, I don't care what happens to them, just blow the lot of them up. I won't mention names, but there's certain people with channels that do speak like this, and they are not true, genuine starseeds. They are not here because they have humanity's best interests at heart. And instead, they're just here and it's all ego, it's all service to self, all rubbing and flaunting their relationships that they have with beings, in people's faces and stuff like that. It's just plain to see, really. And I've had very personal experiences with these people, and I've seen their true sides, and I've seen entities that were attached to them come through and reveal their names. I have receipts. So yeah, like I say, true, genuine, high vibrational, positive service to others' souls. We are very compassionate, and we will be here till the end, even if that means is sacrificing our own selves. That is, how to recognize a true, authentic being. So, yes, guys, but we're not perfect neither. We go through the emotions, we get angry, we get upset, and again, so we're not all love and light and everything's all fluffy. Some of us have a mouth like a sailor. I know I do. And guess what, humans aren't the only ones that swear. There's many beings as well that do actually swear as well. So just quickly talking about these negative star seeds pretending to be of light. They can be anyone. They can be your sister, they could be in your family, they could be your partner, they could pretend to be your twin flame, you know, in the whole false twin flame trap thing. In fact, 9 times out of 10, those souls that are sent your way, who we believe are our twin flames, are not. They are negative beings pretending to be our twin flames. And the whole purpose of that is to derail us, to slow us down, to gaslight us, you know, to shrink our light, to drain our energy. You know, there's a whole agenda behind that. I know many of you know that already, because I'm sure many of you listening to this have been caught up in the false twin flame trap. Now, twin flames, I believe, are real, but you know, there's certain beings that do go out their way, especially to target star seeds. Again, as all the things I've just mentioned. So, yeah, I've been caught up in that, and this is why I purposely keep myself single, just to protect myself, really. Because unfortunately, you know, at least in my case, you know, I can't trust anyone down here. So again, like I say, these negative, or say dark, is probably more the correct term, dark star seeds, you know, they can only hide behind a mask for so long. You know, they can only keep up for so long until their true nature really comes through. And yeah, like I say, they're everywhere, guys, and I believe there's more coming down. I've psychically picked this up, that there are more coming down, as well as more positive star seeds. So again, it's a whole spiritual war. You know, of course, positive star seeds down here, meaning those that are working for the light, and you know, we're here to help elevate people and help people. We're service to others, and it's, you know, there's no ego, there's no competition, there's no, you know, I'm right, you're wrong. There's none of that. We're not here to throw our truths in people's faces. We just share our experiences. We share our psychic information, our perspectives on things. And of course, you know, you just take what you believe and leave what doesn't, really. But yeah, like I say, I see that unfortunately with a lot of negative star seeds. It's very ego, and they get easily upset and triggered if anyone goes against them or challenges them or doesn't believe them or calls them out even, you know, and then you can really see you know, that dark side of them really come through. And this is also, you know, I'm talking about these dark star seeds that were positive, you know, that they are still in there somewhere in their body, in their human suit, you know, in their mind, but they've got attachments and or being, you know, used to you know, used for this agenda. There's many agendas on this planet right now, of course, negative agendas. So yeah, and I'm sure, you know, especially in the spiritual community, I'm sure, you know, a lot of you listening to this now have had friendships, people you thought you could trust, and there were just some signs and red flags, but you know, you let it go over your head because they're a starseed, right? They're a light worker, right? You know, you allow their positive, fake positivity to you know, overshine their little negative um or red flag, you know, signs and stuff. You know, we often make excuses for them. We often doubt ourselves and our discernment and intuition, and we often, you know, just we gaslight ourselves as well. Like, no, it can't be true. That's, maybe we've took it the wrong way. Maybe they're not really that way, you know. But it's like it gets to the point where it's like, how many times does that one person, regardless if they say they're a starseed or not, how many times does that person really need to show their true reflection, their true sides? You know, how many times do they need to slip up, or something just about them doesn't feel right, or you know, or they attack you, or you know, it's they're very manipulative as well. Again, it can cause you to question your own self. It can cause you to feel crazy. There's a lot of mind games as well. You know, there's a lot of, sorry about the background noise, there's a lot of narcissistic tendencies, you know, traits as well. And they all come in different shapes and size and variants and degrees and levels and things like that, which can make it a bit tricky. But like I say, I'm just going to end this video on, regardless of who they are, what stature they have, what they talk about, what they are knowledgeable in, regardless of all of that, of any of that, if something about them just doesn't feel right and you can't shake it off and you can't understand why, sometimes we don't need to know why, because the truth will always come out in the end, okay? But whenever you get a bad feeling, just listen to that, because that is your higher self, your gut feeling trying to tell you, abort, stay away from this person. You know, the signs are always there, and we often overlook them. We often you know, yeah, it just ignore them. We often give those more chances than they deserve. We often just let it go over our head, but eventually, who ends up getting hurt every time? We do, because of our softness, because of us trusting and being too forgiving and being too nice, and or hanging on to that friendship, hanging on to that person because we haven't got anyone else. There's all sorts of reasons why people hang on to these types of people, but really they just drain you. They affect your energy, slow you down, and just weaken your own abilities. You start questioning your own abilities about them and not trusting in yourself and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm rambling on. Eventually, they will get seen for who and what they are. And I'm going to leave the video at that. And, I love you all, guys. Take care of yourself, and I will speak to you soon in a new upload.